Perfect. I think we should start at the beginning of your story. We already talked about this, how your career started. It was a very interesting story, how you discovered your passion for wine at the previous job. How did that happen?
I think for most people, when you get into the wine trade, it happens with some sort of story.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I think people have a bit of an aha or this epiphany moment where
Yeah.
it just catches their attention. And it's the same for me. Uh, I grew up in a blue collar, middle class family, no connection to wine whatsoever. I grew up in Metro Detroit,
Yeah.
and I ended up just landing a job in a nice wine shop in an affluent suburb of Detroit. And there was an older gentleman there who I had a nice connection with. He became a good friend. He was a wine geek. And there was the aha moment for me. There was a day, again, at this time, I'm about 18 years old, and I'm working in the store. I'm stocking shelves, and I drove a truck and, did that sort of work. And every evening at the end of the night, he would have a late night supper and a glass of wine. And one day he was going through his usual routine, and he said to me, "Hey, Polish boy, come here. I have something for you." And he had a glass of wine. He said, "Here, I want you to try this." And I remember exactly what the wine was,
Wow.
but I tasted the wine and nearly retched. I thought, "Oh, this is just god awful." And he laughed, of course, and he gave me a book, and it was the gold standard back in that day. I think it's still around. It's the Alexis Lachine Encyclopedia of Wine. So
Yeah.
this is in the pre-internet days, and here's a book that's really a doorstop. Read about this wine, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. And
Mhm.
I took the book home and I read about the wine. The wine that he had me taste was a 1966 Chateau Cantenac Brown Margaux.
Wow. So it was
Classic,
quite a special wine, not just
but in the context for me, it was it
yeah,
was just it was
of
awful.
course.
And so that night, I read a little bit about the wine estate, but it was more about reading the history of wine, its connection with business and art and religion and politics and business and all of these aspects that really grabbed my interest. And that for me was the start point. After that, I spent the next 4 years with him, essentially tasting through this wine store.
Yeah.
And he would say to me, "Okay, this month we will focus on Bordeaux." And that's all we would taste for a month.
Mhm.
And then we would go to another region. It would be Alsace or Tuscany or whatever it might be. That formed the foundation for me. And at that point, I was absolutely hooked.
Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section and see you in the next one.